Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's masterclass. I just want to know if maybe you can pop in the chat if you can hear me clearly. How's the sound doing on that side? Welcome to the masterclass today. I am going to guide you through on how to write a kick-ass CV. So I'm so happy to have everybody here. And yeah, I'm just excited to go on this journey with you to improving the way that you do things and landing that dream job, girls, definitely. Thank you so much for letting me know about the sound. If you would like to, please introduce yourselves in the chat, and we can use the chat throughout this session to ask any questions you want. Please feel free. This is the time. Pick my brain as much as you like. Ask as many questions as you want. And yeah, let's get to know each other a little bit better. So starting off, my name's Angela, and I am the product manager from Khwela Womxn. And the product manager means that I do things that have got to do with tech. So I work around strategy and technology. So I don't know if any of you have used our WhatsApp chatbot, Alora. Alora is my baby. So yeah, that's what product manager does. Alrighty, so let's kick off. We are going to be I think around about a half an hour, and I'm going to leave some time open for questions and answers at the end. And yeah, so let's get started on how to write a kick-ass CV. So today, the things that you are going to learn with me is how to write a CV that demonstrates your strengths. So we want to know what you're good at, and you want it to be super clear from the first time that your potential employer looks at your CV. We want your CV to outline relevant, I'm going to really emphasize the word relevant, qualifications and skills. So whatever's relevant to the job that you're applying for. A CV that stands out and can be recognized instantly. One that shows the essence of who you really are as a person, as an individual, gorgeous woman. Is relevant for the job that you're applying for, and what looks like it was designed by a pro. So I have created a little poll. Let me just add it here quickly. And this is all about the worst job you've ever had to do. So we're just going to do a quick warm up here and tell me what is the worst job that you have ever had to do in the chat, okay? And while you do that, I'm going to just talk through a few jobs that I was looking at earlier today that are the worst jobs ever. And these ones really stood out to me. The first one was a pet food tester or taster. So someone who tastes pet food for a living to see if your dogs and your cats and hamsters and whatever other pets you have are eating food that actually tastes good. But I guess, yeah, that's a bit of a difficult one, because what tastes good to a human may taste different to an animal. So I'm not really sure what they look at there, but that's a bit of a terrible job. Another one is a roadkill collector. So somebody who goes on highways and on big roads and collects like the animals that have been hit by cars, which I thought was awful. Another one is a crime scene cleaner. So somebody who goes in after a crime has happened, like murder or something, and cleans the crime scene. I thought that was really hectic. The other one is an odor tester. So someone who smells things for a living. And this would be that maybe a deodorant company will be testing deodorant and they'll need to smell people who have bad body odor. And then like after they've used the deodorant, like how they smell after that. And they can be anything really. I mean, you could be smelling feet or you could be smelling perfume. So it could be absolutely anything that has to do with the sense of smell. The other one would be a pee collector. So some farmers need to know what's going on with their animals, and they have to, the only way that they can do that to test the animal's health is to collect their urine, and they have to collect the urine and test it. So quick story, this was actually one of my worst jobs that I've ever had to do. I'm going to share it with you because I was working at an organic farm in India, and they used to make pesticides with the cow urine and poo, and we had to collect it in the mornings and put it all in like a bucket and like stir it together and stuff. And that was probably one of my worst jobs. Yeah, and the other one was a sewer cleaner. So in countries like India, there's some places where the sewer or the sewage and the sewer system doesn't work effectively. So they have to hire people to go down into the sewers, unclog drains, kill rats and things like that. So I thought that was also quite a hectic job. So I'm going to launch a little poll here for you all, and you can just test out or choose which one you think is the worst one that you heard there that I'm telling you about. I see, Debbie, you shared with us that you worked in a UK call center company that was in South Africa, and it was a gush of calls coming through and people just being rude and shouting from the get-go. Oh my word, that sounds awful. I've also worked in a call center before, and the type of people that end up on the phone are so hectic. Thank you so much for sharing. If anyone else would like to share their worst job, please do so in the chat. I would love to hear something that you've done that maybe was not so fun. Alrighty, let's go to our next page. So the first thing that is the most important that I think that gets overlooked a lot of the time is actually understanding the job that you are applying for. So I know when I was unemployed, I would search through job ads on like Career 24 and Gumtree and all these different career portals or job portals. And I would just take my CV and apply for as many as possible and not really read through all the information in the job post. I would just say, okay, call center operator sounds like something I can do. And then I would apply for it. But I wouldn't really like research the company or anything. It was more like quantity. I wanted to send out as many CVs as possible in the hopes that I would get a bite somewhere. So this method is actually going to help us avoid doing things like that. Because what we're going to do is we're going to find a job that you really want and go deep. I'm going to encourage you all to go super deep here. The first thing is reading all the information in the job post. So every little bit of information, read it, and take notes of anything that stands out to you. So what skills are they looking for? That's super important because when you're writing your cover letter or adding things or adjusting your CV, if you possess those skills, it's really important to list them on your CV because then they will look at it and be like, okay, this person is really aligned to what we're looking for. And the chances of you getting that job is a lot higher. So read the posts carefully, read the information, take notes, check and double check the requirements. So often there's a section in a job post that chats about requirements, what they need from you. And sometimes I will even make a checklist. So write down a little checklist that says, okay, do I have this skill or this requirement? and tick it off and say, okay, yes, 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 or no. And this is a great method. The other thing is, if they are advertising the company that the job is with, research that company. I would encourage you to look at their about pages, their home pages, and see what words do they use often. When a company uses a word more than 3 times in the copy of their website, like maybe it would be something like, it could be anything like excellence, or a word like upliftment or something like that. If they use that word more than 3 times, then this is going to be actually part of their value system. They're trying to communicate their values to you. So in your cover letter or in your CV, try sneak that word in a few times, and not to a point where it sounds weird. Try fit it in so that it sounds like natural, and then that will also show some alignment with their organization. Be prepared. So some companies will require certified copies of your education certificates. So maybe it's your matric certificate, or if you have a higher tertiary education, they would need a certified copy of these certificates. Have copies on hand that are not older than 3 months old. I would suggest as well making sure that the copies that you have are in color copies, and copies that are no longer than 3 months old. Make sure that if they are asking for an educational certificate, that you haven't just taken a screenshot of the certificate that's on your phone, or if you have a PDF of it. Don't do that, because if they open it up, they can't see it, and then automatically you're going to be disqualified from the running, no matter how cool your CV looks. So yeah, no screenshots. Try upload the PDF or a really high quality JPEG, and make sure that anyone can take a look at that result like this, be able to see it clearly. They don't have to squint their eyes to try and see what's going on. And that way it'll show that you've understood what they want from you, and that you can deliver something that's high quality. The last one is make sure whatever information that you provide, that it's clear and submitted before the due date. So if maybe like the due date is on the 4th of August, and now we have a week to submit all these things. Don't rush to do it all in one day. Try to make sure that you are meticulously going through everything, and maybe submit it the day before the due date, so that you can go through everything and check and double check all those requirements. So I just want to link us quickly to a job that I found on Careers24 when I was looking at some things, just as a quick example of this company. So this is, the employer here is the city of Cape Town. We can see that this is the city of Cape Town. So I would research or go onto their page and like take a look at the city of Cape Town. What is it that they do? What are they about? And then go from there. The requirements is a B degree with a focus on telecommunications. So anything, if you have a B degree, then you can tick that off and say, yep, I got that. So I am part of this requirement. Minimum of 10 years experience. Okay, do you have the experience? And a proven track record of success. So this would mean, in this case, that you probably need to present them with a case study or some kind of proof that you have, like a report or something that shows that from when you started the job to when you ended the job, this is the impact that you made. They also have some key performance areas. So go through these things. If they say like that you need to make sure that like VoIP and these things are working, Maybe mention that somewhere on your CV and say, I've worked with VoIP before, which is a telecommunications product. And then you can take a look at closing date. So read all of these things meticulously. Here, they actually request certified copies of qualifications. They must be available on request. So you don't have to send it when you are sending your CV in, but make sure that you do have them available. So if they message you, you can automatically say, yes, I've got these things, they're clear, and I can send them. Alrighty. So let's take a look at what my CV looked like a few years ago. This is my CV, and I did it on Microsoft Word. I was applying for as many jobs as I could, and I was actually I didn't really tailor my CV to say anything about the industry I was applying for, but I was really interested in tourism. So I was applying for tourism jobs. And as you can see, I added things like my ID number, like things like this that I actually didn't really need to add, like my actual location address and stuff like that. Oops. And my employment history, I added everything all the way down to like 2010 to 2008. When I was actually like applying for this job. Who really wants to know what you were doing in 2008? Come on, it's 2020, 2021 now. All right. And as you can see, I did a lot of different kinds of things. I worked as a receptionist, I worked as a teacher, and all kinds of things. So I even worked in a surf shop and for a doctor, and I had like a lot of different things. So it wasn't really relevant to the job that I was applying for, but it did show variety. This is a very boring CV. I'm surprised I even got the job with this CV because it didn't stand out at all. It wasn't tailored to the position I was applying for. And yeah, it doesn't really show who I am as a person. So this is what it looked like before. I'm going to show you at the end what it looks like now. Okay. Remember, if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat. I'm happy to answer as we go. Alrighty, first impressions. So first impressions really, really do count. That's why having a professional photo on your CV is so important. So some people say don't have a photo on your CV, but I think it's super important to have it so that your potential employer can see you for who you are, and having a professional photo is the first step. When I was hiring for a position, I was hiring for a new person in the company I was working for, and I got like, I think I got like over 200 CVs that I had to go through. And the ones that didn't have photos, I just found so difficult to connect to. Being able to see what someone looks like and the effort that they've put in, even just into taking a photo, makes such a difference. So how to take a perfect selfie for your CV. As you can see, I've got this little X here next to this one. Even though it's a cool pic, it's not actually a photo where you can see my face. It's very much like just the top of my head. So frame the photo from the waist up. So if you can do it from like your waist, I took this as a selfie because I didn't have anyone to help me, but it still worked just as well. Dress professionally. If you don't have something professional like a collared shirt or something like that, wear something plain, like a plain color is perfect. As long as there's not too many stripes or details or patterns or something on it, you're good. Your hair and your makeup should be neutral. So when I say neutral, I mean not like crazy bright colors and too much going on. You want to keep the detail in your face. So very, very natural and neutral tones. A plain color background. If you are taking the photo outside, try and take it against a wall that is quite plain colored or one color. I think that's the best way forward. Keep facial expressions and hand gestures neutral. So when I say hand gestures, I mean like, don't be like that or whatever, you know, like giving a thumbs up or peace sign. Rather like cross your arms or have your arms to your sides. Have them resting in your lap if you're sitting down. Something very neutral. Avoid props and broken lights. I've seen CV photos with someone holding a pot plant before, and like, even though it was creative, it was a little bit strange. Props can also mean like hats and glasses. If you wear like reading glasses or like glasses to see, then that's fine. But like sunglasses and like extra jewelry and stuff like I have here doesn't work. Think more of a passport photo and not a Facebook selfie. Like I would totally put this on my Facebook or like my Instagram, but I would never add it to my CV. And if you have someone who can help you, ask someone to help take the photo. That way you can stand with your arms crossed or something and like actually have some really nice body language. All right. So now we're going to get to designing your CV. The layout of your CV is almost as important as the contents. So as you saw on my CV before, it was very plain. It just had contents. There was no layout. It was literally just a Word document. So there's a lot of free templates that you can find online. And if you have a computer, I think you can also do it on your phone. There's a company called Canva, and they have so many modern designs that are easy to read and stand out. We did this one on Canva. I've done mine on Canva, and there's a lot of free versions. So you can sign up. It's a free account, and I think there's like over 100 different CV layouts that are free that you can use. So you don't have to be a designer to do this. Let me show you quickly. So Canva, this is Canva. So you create your account. You can log in. Let me just, oopsie. Here we go. Logged in. Where you create an account, and then you can search keywords like CV. And this is an American company, so it pops up as resume. And as you can see, these are all the different layouts that you can find. They're already there. So let's say you like this one. You click on it, and here you can change your name. So you just double click on it, and you can say, I'm Angela Sharp. And you can change all the information however you like. So there's the contact information, your skills, your education, awards. You can remove any of that stuff, or you can choose different ones. Here's another one. So these are all free. Make use of it. Canva.com. Let me just pop that into the chat. See. There we go. Oh, I ended up going far back. There we go. All right, so take a look at Canva, use the templates, they're all free. And the next thing is keeping your CV to a maximum of 2 pages. And when I say maximum, a 1-page CV is like gold. You don't need to add more than 1 page on your CV. Oh, cool, Devi. I'm glad that you had the app. And yeah, it's amazing. Like Canva is the best tool ever. Like I said, there's so many free templates that you can use. keep your CV to one page. Rather try, if you have a lot of information that you want to share, 2 pages is fine, but I would suggest trying to keep it to 1, but no more than 2, because if a recruiter is looking at your CV and you have like 3 or 4 pages, it's too much. They get tired. They're going to look at it, and maybe if they like the look of your photo and they like the layout, then perhaps they'll go further. But if the CV is already looking boring and it's like not really standing out too much and it's this long-winded thing, they're not going to be interested. Make it easy to read. So this means choosing an easy to read font. It may be quite tempting to like pick the CV like I picked there, the first one that I looked at on Canva. It had all the cursive writing. It looked pretty, but it's difficult to read sometimes when we choose a font like that. So choose an easy to read font. As you can see here, Laura, she's got some very easy to read font. All of her titles of her different sections of her CV are in capitals. So you can look at it and be like, oh, okay, let me read about her. Or if you want to just go straight to the skills, you can. It's super clear and they can find what they need to find easily. Avoid long paragraphs and big chunks of text. So it may be tempting to be like, when I was working at this company, I did this and that, and I was in charge of X, Y, Z. And this was really great because of this, and I learned this. Awesome. Leave it for your interview. Let's try keep the information very short and bite-sized. Use bullet points where possible. So bullet points are like these little dots here. So you can make like a list easily and just list the keywords in each thing. And then remember that photo. So the photo that you took, you can just on Canva. Let me just open this again quickly. So you see here, there's a photo of somebody already, this Laura, she has a photo. If you want to add a photo of yourself, you just have to take it from your computer or anywhere, and there's a section that lets you upload things over here. So you can just say upload media, and then you can find it there. Or if you have a photo, like I've got this one, and it's on your desktop, you can actually drag and drop there, and then it just uploads it. So once it's uploaded, you can just drag it over, and there we go. My photo is in place of Laura's photo. So super, super easy. All right, any questions on designing your CV? Remember, you can pop comments or chats or anything in the chat box. So who are you? This is the next section. Who you are is so important because we're all individuals. And having a short description about yourself, this explains who you are. So ask yourself these questions when you're writing your short description. Okay, so who am I? I am Angela Sharp. I am a product manager. So you can say that you are a tech enthusiast, or maybe you are a marketing student or an intern or whoever, whatever you are. Let's be honest here. Number 2, what can you offer the company, and why are you a good or why are you a good fit for the role? So maybe you're applying for a specific, you should be applying for a specific job. Tailor this to that job. Say, I'm this person, this is what I do, and I can offer this. And then the third thing, what are your career goals? So a good description or example of this is who the person is. I'm a creative writer with over 5 years experience in the marketing industry. Number 2, what can we offer the company? I work well in a collaborative team environment and I love to learn. My main focus, what are your career goals? My main focus is fashion and lifestyle blogging, but I'm keen to learn more about social media management. So these are career goals, something that you are looking towards in the future. And don't worry, after this, I'm going to send this slide deck to everybody so that you can go back and look at this. So if there's something that you're missing out on now, don't worry. I'm going to send this to you. So this is mine. I'm Angela Sharp and I'm a product manager. I'm a tech enthusiast who's passionate about rethinking education. I believe that purpose-driven businesses are becoming more important every day. We can use purpose as a tool for growth, not only within business, but within our personal lives as well. So that is my goal, is to bring purpose into businesses and to make businesses more purpose-driven. And I think it gives us a very clear idea of who the person is just by answering those 3 questions in a short paragraph. Okay, here is the part where you list your professional skills. So let's try add a bulleted list. Okay, or this just a little list here. This is mine in the white box here, of your core skills, the ones that are related to the job that you are applying for. So this expands on the description of the previous page. So we've already spoken about who we are, and now we're talking into the skills. So we don't have to say I have 10 years experience in team leadership or 5 years experience in strategy. No, short description about you and then a bulleted list of your skills. So some of these professional skills could include something like copywriting, blogging, project management, research, partnerships, lesson development and planning, whatever it is that are your skills, your professional skills, you can add them here. So this could be anything that you've had a history with. So maybe you have had a job that has taught you these things. Like for me, I've never studied strategy, but I worked in a team where I learned strategy for 5 years. So that has now become a professional skill of mine, even though it's not on my education list. So for me, it's team leadership, strategy, partnerships, collaborative tooling, remote facilitation, which is what I'm doing now, is actually facilitating a remote workshop, workflows, user stories, things like that. So let's keep it simple. There is a saying that's called KISS, K-I-S-S, and it stands for keep it simple, stupid. So that is the main goal of this CV writing workshop, is to keep it simple. List your soft skills. So I've actually written it here because I think it's really, really important. Your work ethic, your attitude, and the way in which you communicate with others. It's crucial to a successful career. Soft skills help you use your knowledge effectively and are just as important as professional skills. Actually, now there's been a lot of articles lately about how companies are searching for women, especially, that have really strong soft skills. And soft skills can be anything from communication, written or verbal. So maybe you're really good at writing emails, or you're really good at communicating an idea. This is so important, because you can have all the qualifications and all the skills in the world, but if you got a bad attitude and you suck at communicating with people, you're not going to go very far. So list these soft skills and think about it. What am I good at? Am I good at problem solving? Am I a decisive person? Do I show up? Can I work in a team? Ask yourself these questions. I made this list of the top soft skills that companies are looking for this year. This was an article that was like by Forbes Business that was saying that how important soft skills are. And if you don't possess any of these skills, there are ways to build them. There's a lot of free material out there that helps you learn how to build these soft skills. And Khwela is one of them. So we have our WhatsApp chatbot where you can go on and you can actually read about like what it means to be a good leader and how to practice communication and things like that. So take a look at these, really think about it, and put them on your CV. It is gold. Okay, your relevant work history. So listing only your relevant work history. So this is generally the last 3 roles that you had or your most recent jobs that you've had. Don't be like me and add things on that CV that I had from 2008. Nobody cares what I did then, like really. If they really want to know, they will ask you in the interview, what did you do before that? They'll say, tell me about yourself. And when they say, tell me about yourself, that's where you can go and start at the beginning and be like, I started off after school doing this and this and that. And then you can talk into it. But there's no need to put it on the CV. So start with your most recent role and work backwards in chronological order. If you have a long job history, just pick the most recent and relevant roles and just leave off anything else. So each role that is listed on your CV should include your starts and end dates at the company. So maybe you're actually employed now and you're still in a current role. You can tell them the start date, and then the end date would just, you would use the word current, which says that you're still currently employed by this organization or company. Whatever your job title was, a bullet list of your main duties. So here, this is also part of that KISS, keeping it simple. You don't need to write paragraphs about it, just a bulleted list of your main skills and any projects or achievements that you're proud of. So maybe you did something really awesome in this job. List it here, like you say it in a sentence or 2 if you can. Just try to keep it short. And if there's nothing that you really stands out, that's also fine. You can leave that off. You don't even need to put that on. And then a contact person within the organization for a reference. So if they do want to call and say, hey, did this person work here? Then they can, and it's easy for them to find. Like I said, I'm going to send this to everybody so you can take a look at this later as well. All right. The next part is all about information. So the next stuff that you need to look at is your education and information, which would be like contact details. That make sure that whatever you put here, it's true. We don't want to lie and give fake qualifications. You're not going to send your actual documents with the CV. Unless they ask for it, unless it's part of the requirements and they say, when you submit your CV, you need to submit the certified copy of this. Cool. But here, it's not like you're going to be attaching it to this one pager. So just make sure that it's true, whatever you write on here, and you're not saying that you passed matric with a distinction, and then when they ask you for your matric certificate, you got all C's. So let's try to keep it honest. Okay. So yeah, let's also list it in reverse chronological order, starting with the most recent qualifications. So if you have a tertiary education or you've done a course or something recently that you want to put there, make that first, and then you work backwards. So the name of the course or the qualification, so Bachelor Arts in Communication, the name of the school or organization or whoever you've done this, gotten this qualification through, and then the dates attended. So super easy, just 3 points. And then when it comes to your information, make sure that whatever contact details you add here, you actually are checking regularly, because you may add an email address and they're contacting you to say that you have an interview, and they're contacting you over email, because a lot of companies do that. Make sure that you're checking those details. So whatever you add here, make it something that you're actually looking at, not just a random address that you maybe look at once a month. So your email address, your phone number, your LinkedIn profile, if you have one, I would suggest you get one. It is an amazing tool. LinkedIn is social media for business, and I have found so many amazing opportunities on LinkedIn, people to connect with. Like if you guys have LinkedIn, like even connect with me on LinkedIn. I will share my LinkedIn profile with you all as well, and we can connect. I highly recommend LinkedIn, because a lot of recruiters look at your LinkedIn profile, or they look for a LinkedIn profile. So this is where you can also like use that professional photo, everything that we've learned today. And this is only if you have one, but your online portfolio or your website. So maybe you are somebody who does like coding or product design or something, or like you are a graphic designer and you have an online portfolio or website, you can add a chat, but not everybody has that, and it's not necessary for every single role. So I definitely don't have that. Okay, what not to share. So even though we have a lot of yeses and things that we need to share, there are some things that we don't need to share. So let's leave it off your CV, unless the requirements specifies that you add it. This is why it's so important to read those requirements. So you don't need to add your ID number or your date of birth. It's not important. Your physical address, your marital status, your health status, your dependents, if you have any. So this would be like kids or whoever it is that relies on you financially, and your driver's license or vehicle information. So this used to be added to a CV in the past, but it's not necessary to include this on a modern day CV. If your potential employer needs any of this information, they will request it. They will ask you for it. So they will ask you if they're going to interview you. If you've made it through to the next round, then they'll say to you, hey, can you bring along your ID, or can you tell me what is your date of birth? I guess when it comes to the driver's license and vehicle registration, if you are applying for a job that has got driving in it, and you're going to be doing driving, then it makes sense that you send that, but they will request it. It will be part of the requirements, but otherwise you can leave it out. Okay, just as important as your CV is your cover letter. So the cover letter that you write needs to be specific for each company you're applying for, just like your CV should be. So let's make sure that you tailor this cover letter. Your opening paragraph, this is where you get them hooked. This is where you're going to say something that grabs their attention, okay? I'm going to show you an example in a minute. The second paragraph, this is explaining why you are the perfect fit for the job. So this is when you've read those requirements and you see the roles and the skills that you're going to need to possess. And here's where you can add those words in that their company uses and try and mirror that, that language that they use on their website or on their profiles. And the third paragraph is why the company is a perfect fit for you. So this is a two-way street. You need to explain why you are a perfect fit for them and why they are a perfect fit for you. So A top tip was what I mentioned earlier, researching the company and using the words and the tone that they use. This technique is called mirroring. So when we mirror, it's a tool that you can use. And this is really paying attention to how that company communicates and then communicating that way yourself, because they may not even notice that you're doing it, but then they'll think, wow, this person really is aligned with what we're doing. So you can use this when like writing emails or applying for jobs. I do it sometimes when I'm writing an email in response to someone that needs to be a professional email and they've said, good day, Angela. Then I will start my email with good day and their name. Instead of just like, hey, or hi there, or dear this, I try to mirror the way that they communicate. If they use emojis, I'll use an emoji. If they don't, I won't. So yeah, mirroring is a really cool tool. So there's a resource here. These links are going to be clickable on the document that I send you, so you can also open it later and take a look. But I'm just going to pop it quickly in the chat. So if you do want to look at it, you can on your own. So this is how to write a cover letter for a job in 2021, and it has 12 and more than 12 examples. So here it shows you like how it should look. So here you can also, I think you can also find cover letter templates on Canva. So take a look at Canva. So your heading, like your name, whatever it is that you're doing, your personal info, but this will generally be on your CV anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. And how you start it, your salutation. Opening paragraph. So this is where you get them hooked, remember? So she's saying here, I was thrilled to see you posting for this position. I'm positive I can help with these challenges. So I've succeeded at expanding this client's base by 90%. So she's trying to get them hooked here. The second paragraph is the why you're the perfect fit for the company. So here she starts talking about why she's the perfect fit, and she's saying that she's supervised before online marketing initiative for technical and creatives, and last year this is what she did, and here we are a year later, and see, this is why she's saying that they should hire her, and then why the company is a perfect fit for her. This project is a perfect match for my personal and professional interests and an exciting opportunity to create a unique online base. So you can even try and use some of these words. I think it's great, the sentence that the phrases and the sentences that she's using here. And yeah, your closing paragraph, which is, wanting to get the chance to discuss the opportunity with them. And there we go. So there is a lot of awesome resources out there, like totally use them. There's even like a little YouTube video in this link that you can go to and watch. I highly recommend it. Alrighty, so we've come to the end of our session, and here's the little review, the things that to take note of. So preparation, take a professional photo. Choose a professional CV template. Tailor your CV to the role that you are applying for. Keep your About Me intro short and simple. Add a short description about yourself. Add a bulleted list of your core skills related to the job. List only your relevant work history. Include your relevant education and qualifications. Add up-to-date contact details that you check regularly. And leave off personal information unless it's relevant to the role you're applying for, if they have asked for it. And you can tailor your cover letter to the job you are applying for. So the last page here that you'll get in the stock is some resources, just like on different places where you can design your CV. Here's a link to how to write a cover letter, as well as some cover letter hacks. All right, so I'm going to show you what my CV looks like now. So this is my CV now compared to what it looked like before. And as you can see, I've got the little about section. I've got my professional skills, my personal skills, my contact details, and my LinkedIn profile, which I'm going to share with you all in the chat. So if you do have LinkedIn, let's connect. If it links. No. I think that'll work now. There we go. All right. And then my education. So I only have 1-page CV and it looks great. I hope that this session was very useful and that you managed to get something out of it. The poll, I just want to go back to the poll and say that the worst job that everyone thought was the sewer cleaner. I have to agree, with the crime scene cleaner coming in second. Does anyone have any questions or comments or anything that they would like to say? Okay, there we go. Debbie, I see your question here. What would be the appropriate number of jobs done in my past that I can put on a CV? Like, how many years worth of work should I put in? That is a really great question. I would suggest just putting your 3 to 4 most recent jobs on your CV. If they want more information than that, they will ask you. So I would say it depends. Maybe you've had like, I'm not sure if you've had like lots of short jobs or lots of long ones, but your 3 or 4 most recent would be the ones that you would add. Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can even say in your cover letter that you have a lot more work experience not listed on your CV, and this is available on request. So if you're worried about like the length of the time that you worked in those positions, then I would just bring it up in your cover letter. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for joining. All right, any other questions? If not, then I think we can all say goodbye. Thank you so much. Do we always have to include a cover letter? Oh, this is actually a really good question. So even though jobs don't always ask for a cover letter, I would say yes, always include a cover letter. It's so important to be able to communicate the reasons like why you are a good fit for the role and why the company is a good fit for you. So I would say that if a CV has a cover letter, or if you've written a cover letter to a company, your chances of getting the job are a lot higher. Thanks, Joyful, for your question. Should it be a one PDF document with the CV? No, you can keep your CV as its own PDF and make the cover letter a separate document, unless you are uploading it through like a job portal where it only allows one thing to be uploaded at a time. Then I would say you would need to combine them, but let's rather keep them separate. You're welcome. Okay, thank you everybody for joining today. I'm going to send you the slide deck and yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We're always happy to help. Our WhatsApp chatbot also has some bite-sized info on what I just taught right now in this masterclass. So you can also just say hi to Laura in WhatsApp, and you can just type in the word CV, and she has all that information there. So there's the link if you want to link it. But thank you so much. I hope you found the lesson helpful and that you go out and get that kick-ass job. I'm so excited for you. Please let me know how it goes. And if you use the information today, if you get a job, I would love, love, love to know about it. Yeah, you can just pop me an email or anytime at angela@khwela.org.za. So that's my email address. Okay, have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.